How's it going, everybody? All of you who have played the new event mode have seen that they're using Cathedral as the map, and you might have noticed the changes to it as well. Structural changes, for a lack of a better word. Cathedral has been in the deathmatch and then tribute map pool since the beginning. So if you've joined the game after these modes have basically died, this might actually be a first for you to play this map outside of duels or brawls. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this isn't the first time that Ubisoft has given us a little preview of future map changes in event modes. Forge is probably the best example here. Since Cathedral is not a Dominion map, but these changes here very much lean towards the mode, since the locations of both capture points are irrelevant for both Deathmatch and Tribute. Tribute even more so since the flag posts are where you currently spawn in the Wyverndale mode. So this is how I'll treat it then, as a possible additional Dominion map. I also think it's inevitable for this to not come up, meaning people will speculate anyways. I also understand that it's a little far-fetched, but I don't want to give up hope for new Dominion maps, especially since this mode sports quite a big change to a portion of the map. And that is the B point here. The whole kind of balcony area is not present in other modes, it's just a cliff. I'm sure many of you have fallen through the stairs already, but apart from that, we do have two potential points. To say it right from the start, this map is small. Very small actually compared to the standard Dominion maps. Even Harbour is bigger. And the points aren't the biggest either. It happens quite frequently for a fight to naturally progress outside the point and then frantic tries to get back inside it. But at least the entrances to these points are big enough to not get body blocked. Which brings me to my next point. Dominion maps need a Minion Lane, so we probably all assume that it's the church in the middle, which does have more than one entrance point that is very narrow. To be more exact, there are tons of choke points. Not just the entrances, but all the hallways, the area in the first floor with all the holes and pillars and whatnot. Especially the team that spawns at the geysers doesn't have a great path inside, and neither will minions, which makes this probably the biggest obstacle should they actually try to make this a Dominion map. With the current architecture, I don't see a satisfactory way to put minions there, let alone the fact that the whole Minion Lane would be a spot for drop attacks. The next thing is the distance between the points. I don't think it's a bad thing that both sides would almost have an equal running distance to mid. We have this in linear maps at the moment, but not in the side point ones. What I do see as a potential problem though is that the distance between the two capture points is extremely short. In the event mode right now, you have to run through Lord Ramiel, who can be a little bit of a bitch sometimes when he decides he really wants to damage you and not immediately go back to in front of the statue. The point I'm making here is that there is no Ramiel in Dominion. Triple capping would be a very common occurrence, as splitting off from the teamfight and capping can be done much quicker than on other maps, which also means reinforcing the teamfight again after the back cap is also really quick. Whether these fast rotations are a net negative or bring positive things to the table as well is up for discussion. I guess it just comes with the territory of such a small map. In general, the map layout is probably one of the hardest to adapt. Shifting the capture points a little closer to the respective spawns might help, but then we'd look at another Sanctuary Bridge, a fan favorite, I know. Before I get to my last point, I just quickly wanted to say that this is all obviously speculation, and despite Cathedral being one of my favorites from the deathmatch pool, I see a lot of potential issues and the resulting frustration in this one here. But at the end, it might just be an adaptation for this very event. It is a big change just for an event, but nevertheless. Normally, it's just some small changes like an additional railing to close a ledge, or a set of boxes with shields like we see in Arcade, to block up a pathway. But it was never a whole map element, at least not that I can remember. So the last thing I want to bring up is not something that has to do with the design of the map itself, but rather the setting. And with that I mean the sun glare. Good lord, the map seems to try to blind you every chance it gets. It's like the map's moveset includes the old stunning tap. Rewatching some of my clips makes it almost embarrassing by what I got hit, and I will 100% use the excuse of the sun glare, and everybody will believe me. But yeah, please tone those down in the future. I mean, it looks amazing, the whole atmosphere is great, but the sun hurts. Let's wrap things up then. What's your opinion on all of this? Am I grasping at straws here, or could we actually see deathmatch maps adapted to the Minion? I made a video a few months back specifically about this, but that was even more coping than this one now. Cathedral here is the first hint at this being even an option for the map team. Would you be happy with this? What would you change on top of it? Or are you against the whole idea of adapting maps and simply want completely new ones? Let me know down below. Having said all that, I hope the video was interesting. Thanks for watching. Latest everybody.